the left calls me a racist or like a gay racist. I'm not gay. How could, I be racist, when I have, gay friends, gay co-workers. One of my co-workers, I've been working with him for about the last 5 years. He's a great guy. His name's Paul John. This was the craziest board meeting I've been to. This was in a blue district, a progressive district. The board was progressive. I almost walked out because I thought, well, the school's actually working really well, but there was something really wrong. Normally, when I troll school board meetings, there's an actual issue being discussed. Wear the mask, don't wear the mask. Black history, DEI programs. Oh, we don't want to teach black history. Pride flag, no, we don't want a pride flag. This was weird because you had a lot of Q-Anons showing up to this board meeting, and they were talking about a problem that didn't exist. These Q-Anons had shown up to protest this non-existent curriculum of gender ideology. Logic Max and I went there, and we checked the curriculum. There was nothing about gender ideology in the curriculum at all, except for this small part where they taught children about consent. I am not kidding you. The only thing you could point to was a part where they taught children about consent. Apparently that's gender ideology.
The boards are to use the public comment period as an opportunity to listen to community concerns, but not to debate issues or enter into a question and answer session.
And Meg Meeker, a doctor with a career spanning 30 years practicing pediatric and adolescent medicine and counseling. If you read nothing else, read Dr. Meg Meeker's words, transcribed from an interview by a panel of New Jersey senators, parents, and professionals in August. She explains why these topics are dangerous to children. Let me explain what's really happening here. One set of parents follows a belief system and want other people's children to fall in line. Another set of parents don't have the same beliefs and are asking them to please stop. We don't want this. This could hurt our kids. You can teach this to your own kids, and we support that, but please leave us and our kids alone. So who's the bully in this scenario? The people claiming to be for inclusion and tolerance have resorted to calling us names and insulting us.
We just came to spread disinformation about LGBTQ, and all of you were so mean to us, which means you people are the Nazis, not us.
And Mr. Massey, you suggested we're using, quote, strawman arguments, but I'm not sure why you don't recall me asking Dr. Seid specifically if gender ideology would be taught. And he answered honestly. He said kids will need to define gender identity, which is a yes. So if you look up the definition and imagine teaching it to 10-year-olds, show me where I exaggerated or made up those arguments.
I would like to know, on record, what any kind of financial or monetary compensation, donations, kickbacks, gifts, aid, or any other form of incentives, means are given to any of you individually, personally, to the school district or the township for promoting or adopting these health standards, the NJEA curriculum. I want to know who provides said compensation and incentive, and I'd like that to be on record.
This guy is just flat out asking, who's paying you to teach gender ideology? Gender ideology is non-existent in their curriculum. You can't even, however, this entire crowd was convinced that they're secretly teaching gender ideology to the students. The funniest part is that after this, one of the board members says, no one's funding it. And the guy goes, oh, okay.
On January 3rd of this year, he missed the bus and entered into the Roxbury High School. He was unchecked, and he went and sat down in the library. His mom had no idea where he was until the school actually called to ask for him and to tell her that he was absent. So she tracked him down to Roxbury High School. He told the librarian what happened, and she told him it was fine for him to hang out there and that she was cool. Since then, he was invited by the librarian to come and hang out there, and he did that again on the 24th of January.
This student got on the wrong bus, got brought to the wrong school. They kept him in the library. The librarian was nice and said, oh, hang out here and come here whenever you want and read books and just be in a library and be in a safe space. And they saw this as indoctrination because a librarian was nice to this kid. Normally when I troll a school board meeting, people know that I'm messing with them and they get it eventually. This time I was subtle enough where they didn't get it. I'm here today to talk about protecting our children. You know, just because, you know, I'm concerned about the woke agenda in our schools, the left calls me a racist, or like a gay racist. I'm not gay. How could, you know, I be racist, you know, when I have, you know, gay friends, you know, gay co-workers. One of my co-workers, I've been working with him for about the last 5 years. He's a great guy. His name's Paul John. I don't have anything against gay people, as long as, you know, it's not in school, out in public, in the school libraries. We don't have to see it on TV. You know, it's totally fine. But they try to make it seem like we're being so intolerant about it. Just because, you know, I believe these things, does that make me some type of, you know, racist, or like a gay racist? I'm not gay, but that's not the point. The point is, you know, we need to protect our children from this indoctrination that's been going on in our schools, and you know, we got to do more with like the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff. Thank you very much. And now Logic Max is going to directly insult them, and they're still not going to get it.
Maximilian Clark, North Pine Street. I grew up, you know, in a house that preached politics, calling to people that are different from you. Like just being open to other ideas, listening, sharing. Every year it just seems to get a little harder. You know, it seems like the ideas get a little further out there. And, you know, these people have this worldview, and it's theirs, and they're welcome to have it. But it seems like every year they just get louder with it, and their worldview, they just take it and they put it down our throats. And, you know, children don't just have these worldviews. They're conditioned into it with time. And you meet so many people who come out of this, and they've, like, you know, seen the light, and they're like, oh my God, I've been so misled. And it starts here, right? And it starts with our parents, right? Because, you know, these worldviews, they're not founded on anything. Like, they're not, you know, in biology books or history books. There is heck fire down in the Bible. Matthew 5:17, you know, says that, you know, Jesus did not come to abolish the old laws, but to fulfill them. And in doing so, he ended them. So all that Old Testament stuff, Leviticus, no, he created a new law that was love thy neighbor, do not judge. And so I will continue to be tolerant of these so-called Christians, even though they don't have any idea what they are talking about. They're angry about stuff they saw online, and they're using it to go after children who are bullied at a higher percentage than other kids, that have a higher risk of student suicide. And these so-called Christians are taking the sides of the bullies. So since they don't have any textual evidence, spiritual evidence, it's just some telephone game that they heard on Facebook, maybe we don't take their complaints too seriously when they get freaked out about something that isn't even happening. Thank you.
Neurotypical.
Yeah, and I don't think they're typical. I think they have issues. They're just not that fixed.
All right.
But they're supposedly neurotypical people. Oh my gosh, that was
I'm gonna walk in your car. Where do you go?
Oh, sure. Oh my goodness. I'm just still like,
Yeah.
that was a lot.
You weren't kidding. On his face, these people, you know, they're
They
going.
were-
On its face, the school is very normal. Like,
Hey, the school board itself is doing a great job. If you're in Roxbury schools, keep your kids in it. They
Yeah.
are pro-inclusion.
we got here and we're going, wait, what's the problem? And then we listen to these people speak.
Well,
And
you
it was
gotta remember
absolute-
that, like, being in a liberal district doesn't protect you. The people that show up to school board meetings are the ones who Q-Anon commands to go forth and preach the word.
I legitimately asked, how much are they paying you? Is this
To his credit, that guy said, "Oh, we're not being paid anything," and he's like, "Oh," like he just.
he's like, so you're doing it for free? Ha ha!
Oh, you know, liberals and their volunteering.